Here, and guys, we are finally doing it. We are finally doing a new legendary Fisherman deck profile post, Duels from the Deep, Duelist from the Deep, whatever you want to call it, OCG, TCG, different names. I still say both at times. So, just also please excuse, the random cat. She wanted to be in the video, so yeah. But we're finally doing it, guys. Thank you so much for the love that this deck gets on this channel. It's just absolutely awesome and amazing. Honestly, still my favorite anime deck to this day. And quick thing, you may notice there's no extra deck, and the reason why is because you don't really need an extra deck for this deck. You do need a 15-card extra deck for Pot of Prosperities, but other than that, you're not making anything out of your extra deck pretty much. If you're side decking Super Poly or like Ultimate Slayer, you could throw in some extra deck cards for that. Do what you want for the extra deck, because literally it just doesn't really matter, I feel. You could throw in a couple utility cards to use, and then, just cards like Ultimate Slayer and Super Poly. It just depends on your local meta and such. So yeah, I just wanted to throw out there, guys. So jumping into this deck profile, I feel like this build's going to be a little weird, but I kept in mind my last two experiences at locals, kind of like what I played against, and just overall built it towards, against playing like fusion-based decks, because that's all I've been playing my last few locals. The last matchup I had that wasn't a fusion-based deck was Marincess, so yeah. Starting off, 3 copies of the OG Fisherman himself. Make sure you play that Lost Art. So this way, we get the Harpoon in there. It's just super scary. There's been times where, I drop this, my opponent sees the Harpoon, and they scoop. It's super intimidating, guys. You gotta get the maximum Harpoonage in there. So, being serious now, 3 copies of Legendary Fisherman 2. I'm not really going to explain, the Fisherman cards, because I probably explained them so much on the channel. And then 2 copies of Legendary Fisherman 3. I still think this is like one of the most insane boss, main deck boss monsters to date. It's just this thing's like, it's on crack. If Fisherman did a bunch of crack, this is what you get. So this card is just really awesome and insane. Still, I think one of the best main deck boss monsters. Next up, now this is where I'm saying I feel like my build's getting a little weird, because I'm only playing 2 copies of Electric Jellyfish, and Electric Jellyfish is probably the second best monster that came out of the Mako Legendary Duelist set. The best one being Karushin, Ocean Lord Karushin, but I didn't want to play Karushin in this because this isn't an Umi control deck. This is Fisherman control, basically. And Electric Jellyfish is good, but I felt like there's just higher impact cards in this build that really, should be at 3. And when I was building this deck, I only had, 2 slots left, and I felt like just playing 2 electric jellyfish was fine. So, yeah. Really good. I mean, it's a negate at the very least, but I just felt like that 2 was good enough. Next up, 3 copies of Warrior of Atlantis to search your Legendary Ocean. Next up, 3 copies of Dimension Shifter. This card is just too good right now not to be playing. And honestly, we don't give a crap what goes to the grave, honestly. Like, it's just doesn't affect us at all. I'm not playing the Fortress Whale Retrain. I mean, even though it's not bad, I feel like the best way to really utilize it is with Sea Stealth Attack 2, but the only monster you really want to summon off Sea Stealth Attack 2 is, the whale, and you have to have the whale in your hand or in your grave, so you kind of have to draw that brick, which sucks. So that's why I'm opting to not play it. So yeah, that's it for the monsters. Now going on to the spells. Playing 3 copies of the Magic card, Legendary Ocean. Got that OG first edition prints. Love it. And then the 1 copy of Terraforming. So we effectively play 7 copies of Legendary Ocean. Now, next up, we play 3 copies of Fish Sonar. It is canon that this is how the Legendary Ocean just sees out of his eyes. He sees where the fish are. His eyes are like built-in fish sonars. That's why he's the Legendary Fisherman, because he can catch any fish, because this is how he sees. Next up, 3 copies of Paw of Prosperity. Card's just stupidly good. Can get you honestly into your Fisherman's or your Legendary Ocean. So really good. No reason why not to play it. 3 copies of Paw Duality. Just kind of like a mini. I feel like it's at this point just mini Prosperity in a sense, or pseudo Prosperity. It's really what I feel like it is at this point, just pseudo Prosperity. It doesn't actually draw you a card, just, excavates and adds, so, yeah, it doesn't clash with Prosperity at all. You're not special summoning, really, so, yeah, it's just, there's no real downside to it, I feel. The only time you would special summon is if you get Jellyfish, so, yeah. Next up for the Traps guys, playing 3 copies of Skill Drain. So Legendary Fisherman 3 is just unaffected by traps, so this doesn't affect him whatsoever, and it doesn't really bother, the only card that this really hurts is the Jellyfish, so that's like it. So yeah, 3 copies of Summon Limit. We're not really summoning a whole lot, so this doesn't affect us whatsoever. 3 copies of Dimensional Barrier. It's just honestly, I feel like one of the best cards right now. Spellbound's about ready to come out, so I don't know. I may consider dropping either this for Spellbound or drop the Jellyfish and play like 2 Spellbounds with 3 Dimensional Shifter. I don't know yet. It's kind of a thought I've been having. And then lastly, 2 copies of Sea Stealth Attack, because this just says basically your Fisherman beat over anything. And people just don't like to read cards, and people still don't understand what this card does, despite it being 2022. It's insane. So yeah, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this deck profile. Like I said, it's probably the weirdest just list for Legendary Fisherman out there. And I think this is only the 2nd time on the channel where I didn't show a deck with the extra deck, but as I said, guys, extra deck doesn't really matter. Throw in a few utility cards if you want. You just gotta have 15 cards of that Paw of Prosperity, and if you're gonna side deck like Super Polys, Ultimate Slayers, which I'm side decking those, I would just put in like 3, you know, or not 3. I'll just make your extra deck like 3, you know, copies of 5 cards that work with both, basically. So yeah. So yeah, guys, thank y'all so much for watching the video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Go ahead and harpoon that subscribe button, harpoon that like button, and comment any comments y'all have. Link in the description down below to my Instagram if y'all want to follow me on there, and I will see y'all in the next video, guys.